Welcome to the chapter on shapes in vector mask. We're going to be mostly concerned with these two right here. If you click on it, you'll see the one's called the Path Selection Tool, shortcut A, and the other one's Direct Selection Tool. And underneath here is different ways of drawing shapes: rectangular, rounded, ellipse, polygon, line, and custom shape tool, shortcut U. So let's go ahead and select the rectangular tool. We're going to make sure that the first icon is selected here. This will draw a shape layer. Shape layers are resolution independent. They maintain crisp edges. We're also going to make sure that obviously this is selected, but this right here is selected. This creates a new shape each time. And you can change the color to whatever you want. I just chose a background color just so it stands out more. Got kind of tired of the white background. And just draw a shape, real simple. Just like that, done. What do you see in the layers panel? You see a new shape layer and you see a vector mask. How's that different from a pixel mask? Remember, the pixel mask is a dark black and white. Vector mask is gray with the shape in the middle here. Select the move tool by pressing V, and guess what? We can move it around and the vector mask will correspond just like that. Now go back to the path panel and what do you see? It says shape 1 vector mask. It's italicized. Why is that important? Well, I'm going to show you. Go back to layers panel. I'm going to create another shape. Now we have two shape layers, but in the past it deleted the other path because we didn't save it. So unfortunately, if it's italicized, that's telling you, hey, you need to save me. So double click, accept the default, or rename it. Alright? And you'll notice that when you draw your shape, you'll notice that you see this border around it. Just click on the mask again and you'll see it. Click again, you don't see it. Click again and you don't see it. Alright? Another way is also to click off of it, and that will help also. Now you'll see that it did come back, but it only saves it when you select it. If you want them both, then you would have to rename both of them. Okay, so you didn't lose it, but you technically did. Alright, went back and I quickly saved both of them, and you can see that when you save both of them, I just let the default name of path 1, path 2. You'll see that both of these have been saved. You see this other one because this is the one that I was working on, the shape layer. So I'm going to go ahead and erase these by pressing the backspace to quickly get rid of these. And let's move to the next function. This is a path. So when you click on the path and you have the rectangle, it'll draw out a rectangle, but this time press the shift key. This will constrain it to a perfect square. Press the space bar and you can move it in the middle. See, I let go of the wrong one. So I'm going to press Control Z. I'm going to drag, press shift, hold the space bar. There we go. Let go of the space bar, let go of the mouse, let go of the shift, and there we have our path in the middle. And then we go here, we see our work path. Let me delete this. Okay, you see our work path right here. Now, remember how it filled in the shape layers in the previous? So let's do that. So a shortcut to fill a path would be Alt and the backspace, or you can do Edit, Fill. But there's something I want to show you before we do this. Notice it didn't create a separate layer. The first one creates a shape layer with a vector mask. The path does not. So these are two very important distinctions. So now let's just choose Edit, Fill, and we'll choose a foreground color and watch what happens. It fills the whole thing. It doesn't fill the inside of the path because we haven't told it to do that. I'll show you a little bit later how to do that. So when you create a path, it's just creating the path. It's not going to fill inside. So I'm going to press Control Z. I'm going to go over to my path panel, right click, and I'm going to delete it, or I can drag it to the trash can. Doesn't matter. Now another thing I wanted to show you, let's go back to the shape layers, because you can do this for shape or path, but I'd rather show you in the shape layers. I'm going to draw another one, and I'm going to select this tool called the Path Selection Tool. When you select the Path Selection Tool, you'll see these anchor points or nodes open up. And watch what happens when you drag them. It'll drag this around. Same thing as using the Move tool. Alright, now what's the difference? Let's go to the Direct Selection Tool. Use the Direct Selection Tool and drag, now do it. There we go. Now you'll see your nodes change. They're clear. Select one and move it out. Now you can change the shape. Isn't that great? So you can bend this around to however you want, and then select away from it, and then you can see select here, and that'll take your border or your path away from around your shape layer, and you can see what you've drawn. And again, it's shown up in the pass panel too. Now let me go ahead and delete this layer again, and let's talk about the last one, which is the fill pixel layer. So all you do is click here, draw another triangle out, and it fills it. So this option and the first option will fill it with the foreground color. Let's use the move tool and move this around. I can't. Why can't I move this? This is driving me crazy. Because it's on the background layer, which is locked. Double click the background layer, click OK, and that will release it. Now let's move it around. But look what happens. The whole layer is moved. You see, with the shape layer, you can move the shape independently. This you can't. This moves the whole layer. This is another difference. So let me press Control Z, Z, Z. There we go. Now in the next lesson, we're going to talk about the different options that you have here, Shortcut U.